I've been on US Mobile's Darkstar for about 2 weeks, so not enough to give a full review, but I do have some significant feedback to give to anyone that's considering the service. So let's go ahead and talk about it. What's good, everybody? My name is Everton, and yeah, I've been testing US Mobile for the last 2 weeks, and it's for the most part been very good. I've been on the unlimited premium plan, which gives you unlimited data when it comes to download and uncapped as well. So whatever your signal can deliver to you, that is what you will get down. And you know what? You also have priority data, which means that whenever the network is busy, they're going to carve out a lane for you to have good service. So that's pretty dope. Now there is hotspot features as well that will give you the same capacity for the first 100 gigabytes, but there are teared down once you actually hit certain milestones for data. So, but in my opinion, it is still very generous, still one of the most generous plans that's out there. So I do want to talk about the data quality and also the talk and, the voice quality and one of the features that I don't think is necessarily like beneficial to everybody. So before you sign up for it, may want to just listen to this video. So let's go ahead and talk about it. And FYI, there is a link in the description and in the pinned comment. It's going to be my referral code. If you click on that link, you can save some money. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the first thing is that call quality is great. I will put it up at the top tier. It's really clear. Never had any issues with drop calls or people not being able to hear me or anything like that. I do live in San Antonio, Texas, but I'm always traveling and yeah, haven't had any issues with call quality at all. Just want to put that out there. Pretty simple. When it comes to data though, that's a little bit more complex. All right. So what I pay for is priority data, and I have gotten that for the most part, right? I mean, I do get it. It is great data. I'm able to get speeds that are really good, but not only that, the speeds are usable. So, it's cool to have like the 1 gigahertz speeds or things like that, but there are some carriers out there that are not on this plan that once you try to actually like stream 4K or something like that, you'll see that there's a systemic restriction that comes in and you can only get like standard quality. And that's where you would actually get the benefit of having super fast data or downloading an entire season of a show or something like that. That's where it would really benefit. In my opinion, this service is super cool when it comes to giving you the ability to use the data that you have access to. It's really great. But I do want to talk about the difference between 5G Plus, which is what allows you to have all those great speeds and great performance, no lag and anything like that, versus 5G. There is a difference. 5G is mid-band 5G, and there's a difference. You can still stream, but you probably be best at around 1080 or 720. That'll really give you that really seamless streaming. You may run into some buffering when you go to 2K and 4K. Shouldn't be a lot, but if you really want that unbridled technology, you really want to make sure that you check the coverage map, which I have linked in the description, to make sure that you have 5G plus in the areas that you frequent the most. Secondly, 4G LTE popped up a lot for me. I don't want to blow it out of proportion because I would say about 3% of the time when I looked at my phone, which I look at it a lot, I noticed that when I was outdoors, it would pop up with 4G LTE. It's a big difference in how it performs. It's not terrible when it comes to using like apps, surfing web pages, Google searches, stuff like that. But if you want to stream video, it's definitely not the best, right? You're not probably gonna have a great time. You're gonna be at standard definition. Now, a lot of people come into this plan because they're looking for that amazing speed, which it does have. But if you have only 4G LTE, you're not going to benefit from that. Now, I don't want to blow it out of proportion. Like I said, 97% of the time, I am having a great experience, like amazing. Just those one-off times where I notice that 4G LTE kicks in. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? All right, so now I want to move over from the data to now one of the services I signed up for a trial for, which is called multi-network. Now, multi-network is the ability for you to download a second SIM and you'll get a second line, and you can utilize that line whenever whenever really you want to. But the purpose of it is to create a redundancy so that if you have a bad network experience with your primary line, you will still have your secondary line to kick in and kind of take over. Now, in principle, this is really great because you theoretically can be in a situation where you got a backup, right? Hey, I don't got great coverage here. I still have data, because I've been in those situations where I don't have data and it is frustrating. So I get it. And the fact that US Mobile offers 3 services is, from the major carriers when they have Darkstar, Lightspeed, and I forgot the other one. But yeah, it's great because you can fill in those coverage gaps, right? But here's the thing, the technology is in combination with what your like device can do and how your device handles it. So I have a Samsung Galaxy and I also have an iPhone, and they have an option there where you can automatically switch data whenever one network isn't available, and that is literally how it works. Whenever I have my primary network and that line has no data at all, literally there would be a circle with a line through it that says no network. That's when the data would switch. I've noticed that it's not really switching to get the better network, even if the first network is struggling, because it is technically still there. So if you have 2G speeds, it's not great. I've noticed that's really not switching over to maybe your secondary line, which may have really fast 5G, speeds. It doesn't automatically switch. Now, the benefit is that if you do download that secondary line and then you switch over, that you can manually do that switch yourself in a pinch. But I mean, if I give that to like my dad or my mom or something like that, they're not gonna know how to do that. And I'll tell them, hey, you got this, it should kick in. They're not gonna really be switching networks like that. So it's not as seamless as it appears to be. And I think that there's a specific set of people who would actually benefit from it. Now, they do offer something called network transfer. So if you are in a situation where you want to say, hey, you're out in a cabin for 2 weeks and you know what, your service isn't great that you usually use, you can switch to maybe light speed or warp speed. It's one of those things where like that may be a better option for you, especially since it is cheaper, right? So meaning that you can get 2 complimentary network transfers for free. Every other one is $2. So you can actually maybe save some money and still have a better solution for what you need. It's not US Mobile's fault. I just think the technology needs to be better. Hopefully that can advance a little bit in the future where phones, handle it differently. But in my opinion, for $10 a month, even though they do give you or gave me a 2-month, free trial, I would not pay $10 for this. I just don't have a scenario where I don't have any service at all and that second line is going to kick in. But overall, the service is super fast. I absolutely love it for the majority of the time. And FYI, the concerns that I talked about with data are going to happen with almost every carrier. So, there are going to be times where you're not going to have as great service because, hey, they always have like 99% coverage, and it just happens that 1% coverage area that you're not in, sometimes that impacts you. So it's going to happen with every carrier, but I do strongly still recommend this service. Not so much of a full review as of yet. I still got to take it a couple places and run a few tests, but overall, super happy with it. So once again, there is a link in the description and in the pinned comment for US Mobile. You click that link, it'll take you right over to US Mobile, and I'll also put any promo codes that I have in the comment section. Until next time, I'm Everton, and I do videos Everton's way. Peace.